Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Steven. This is Bennett Gaming. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. And to my current subscribers, thank you guys so much for the support over the year. Oh my goodness, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity has just dropped, and oh boy, there's a lot to unpack. Feels like it's happening fast. It was announced this morning, and that's been all I could think about today. So I wanted to give you guys my quick analysis and just quick breakdown of the thoughts of this video. I may get a few things incorrect. Fairly new to studying the Legend of Zelda canon and history and theory and all of that stuff. So if you guys hear any mistakes from me, feel free to leave in the comments and correct me in the comments. It'll be a great learning experience for me. But hey, let's start unpacking this and see what happens. I actually went to the website right after viewing the video on Nintendo's website, where you can pre-order the digital download for the game, and some interesting things on the website that I think are worth taking a look at. The sections of the website are divided with, I believe it's Hylian text. I think that would be worth someone taking a look at it and possibly see if there's any translations that pop up in between the sections on the game ordering website on Nintendo.com. I've never attempted to translate any Hylian text, but I think that would be interesting to see if anyone discovers any cool secrets on Nintendo's website there. Some interesting statements. The quote from the website says, "Join the struggle that brought Hyrule to its knees. Learn more about Zelda, the Four Champions, the King of Hyrule, and more through dramatic cutscenes as they try to save the kingdom from Calamity. Play the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity game to see firsthand what happened 100 years ago." A couple of key points that I think to take away from that statement are the emphasis on dramatic cutscenes. It appears that the game will feature multiple cutscenes to help fill in the gaps of the story of what happened leading up to the Breath of the Wild, what happened 100 years ago during that attack from Calamity Ganon. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of stories those cutscenes entail. Will we learn more about the birth of Zelda, her history, and actually Zelda's mother? One of the interesting things in Breath of the Wild that really intrigued me was the cutscene of Urbosa speaking to Link about Zelda's mother and their relationship. So I'd be interested to see if that will actually come up in Hyrule Warriors in this particular game. Another thing that they mentioned that I thought was interesting is the phrase "try to save." So are we going to see a game where during gameplay you will constantly know what the inevitable outcome is? The inevitable outcome is that evil triumphs in this particular battle, that 100 years ago Link fell in battle and was rushed off to the Shrine of Resurrection, while Zelda had to go off to take on Calamity Ganon herself. And we all know how that turned out. So it'd be interesting to see if how the end of this game will play out. If it will end up in defeat, that just segues nicely into the Breath of the Wild. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how that plays out. Another thing that's interesting is that I'm curious if we will see any physical manifestation of Ganon himself, or if that's all done with, because as we know, the Breath of the Wild sequel trailer, we see Link and Zelda exploring an underground cave, possibly beneath the castle, and we come across the actual corpse of Ganon. So will we actually see in Hyrule Warriors the fall of Ganon that leads to the decay of his corpse? And then again, like the release of the calamity on the land that we see in Breath of the Wild. So I'll be interested to see if this prequel gives us any hints or cutscenes regarding how the body of Ganon came to rest in its place that we see in the sequel trailer. Also, I'm wondering if we will see the introduction of any new enemies in this particular game, or if we will see the same old Hinoxes, Lynels, Bokoblins, Moblins, Lizalfos. I'll be curious to see if there will be the introduction of any new enemies for this particular release in this prequel. So let me jump in here and take a look at these the images of Link on the two tapestries. I can't believe I forgot to talk about these, because this is one of the most exciting things that I noticed during this game announcement. So on Nintendo.com's website, you see the black and white depiction of Link in the similar design to the ancient tapestry. It's very interesting that he is not disheveled looking. He doesn't look battle worn, and he does not have a sword, compared to the Link that we're familiar with the hair flowing in the wind. Almost looks to have a beard, and looks very, very battle torn. Looks like he's been through a lot. He's carrying the Master Sword. There's been some speculation, whether or not there's any tie to the way that his arm looks, given the information in the Breath of the Wild sequel trailer. There's been a lot of speculation on that, but I just simply wanted to point out the differences between these two Links, the ones between the one on the tapestry and the one depicted at the bottom of Nintendo.com's game announcement website. So let's get back into the main video. So to jump into the video, my little breakdown of the video, it's interesting that about 20 seconds into the video, the trailer, we hear King Rome say that he thinks we're ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. And then at about 23 seconds into the video, we see Link in actual in the knight's armor. At this point, early on in the trailer, no one is in their champion's tunic. It doesn't appear that sacred ceremony has taken place earlier in the trailer. That each of the champions actually received the blue iconic tunic that we've came to see in Breath of the Wild. At about 31 seconds, there's a cut scene through the sacred grounds scene, and a Twitter user that replied to one of Zeltic's comments noted that in the far background, it appeared that the Great Plateau was not elevated yet. So again, to see that comment about regarding the Great Plateau, it was in a Twitter feed from Zeltic by a reply from one of his followers. Excuse me. And again, like that Sacred Grounds cutscene, as the troops are charging forward, Link in the nice armor surges forward into battle against some Moblins and Bokoblins to lead the charge in that particular scene. And at about 40 seconds in, Zelda and Mipha are walking and viewing the Sheikah slate. They appear to be searching for something. What they're looking for, I'm not sure. You guys that are more familiar with the Hyrule history and creating a champion, the history timelines, please let me know in the comments what they might possibly be searching for. I thought that was a very interesting thing that was happening at about 40 seconds into the trailer. At 42 seconds, Link and Rivali. Link is still in the knight's armor at this point. Rivali does this cool flip, shooting this arrow. At this point, the champions still appear to be winning the battle. At about 44 seconds in, we see Bokoblins and Moblins advancing on the castle. And then we see Link using the bomb ruin on a Bokoblin, like a treehouse camp, battle encampment. So it's really interesting to see that ruins are present in this game, that the Sheikah slates are active at this point with functioning ruins. At 47 seconds into the trailer, King Rome is a scene inspiring hundreds of troops at Hyrule. And then at 49 seconds into the trailer, the castle starts to be wrapped in Calamity or Malice, and Zelda's face is looking on at this point. As you can see, the battle is starting to turn and starting to fall into the favor of Calamity Ganon at this point. And this is what was cool. The Guardian Stalkers spewing from the towers surrounding the castle. At this point, the towers seem to be taken over by Calamity Ganon, and the Guardian Stalkers are just on a rampage, just pouring forth from the towers that surround Hyrule Castle. I thought that was very interesting, and that is something, a functionality that is noted in creating a champion. So it's really cool that they're pulling information from the Creating Champions book and displaying some of that functionality that we saw in the book. At about 54 seconds into the video, we see Link, Zelda, and a Sheikah woman. I saw some speculation that that's possibly Impa, the young Impa, in Hyrule Castle with King Rome on top of a balcony, giving a speech to him or talking to him. I'm not sure what's happening in this scene because this scene occurs after Malice is taking over the castle and Guardian Stalkers are just going berserk outside the castle. And then you see these four individuals, King Rome, Zelda, and possibly Zelda, Link, and possibly Impa, having a discussion in the castle while all hell is breaking loose outside. And then at this point, after this scene, we see cannons firing from the castle, and then we have the resurrection of like the skeletons of like Bokoblins and that sort of thing. So it appears that again, the Calamity's taking full force, possibly the blood moon starting to rise. 59 seconds, I thought this was really cool. We see our first glimpse of a Lionel, and we see a battle between a Lionel and Zelda taking place in Zora's domain. And this Lionel, I think it's the Lionel that we see, the Lionel that we encounter in Zora's domain that we have to go defeat and obtain electric arrows from and face him up on top of that cliff. It appeared to be the same Lionel, and I wonder if this Lionel in the movie clip is the same Lionel we see in Breath of the Wild that causes mischief there in Zora's domain with the electric arrows. And then at a minute 4, we see Mipha attacking a Guardian Stalker with the ceremonial trident. And at this point, this is the point where I noticed that all the heroes are in their champions' tunics now. So from this point forward, like we saw Link in the knight's armor, everyone appeared to be normal in their normal regalia. And at this point, everyone's in their champion's tunic now. And again, this whole trailer seems to be flowing with the history of Hyrule, of what was happening as documented in Creating a Champion. A minute 5 into the trailer, we see Urbosa battling Yiga Clan in Gerudo Town. It's really cool that you see a flurry rush being used, and also you can see the electricity coming forth from Urbosa's sword at this point. So still appears to have her elemental powers. And you also see soldiers from Hyrule also helping in this battle against the Yiga clan as well. At a minute 8 into the trailer, there's a shot of all the champions together, and again, all the champions are in the champions' tunics at this point. And at a minute 11, we see the Divine Beast from Elden Mountains being piloted by Daruk, glowing with a blue light at this point. At this point, it doesn't appear that the Divine Beast have been taken over by Calamity, and that the champions are able to pilot them independently in this battle against Calamity Ganon. At a minute 12 into the film, again, we're kicked back to a battle in Zora's domain, and we just see a Bokoblin and Moblin. You can also see, it appears to be the reservoir, appears to be intact in the background at this point. And then after that, this is where it starts to get kind of interesting for me. At a minute 14 into the clip, we see Daruk battling a Hinox in his champion's tunic, when previously we just saw the Divine Beast that he pilots. So is Daruk now being kicked out of the Divine Beast? Has Daruk has the Divine Beast already been overtaken by Calamity Ganon at this point, and Daruk is now back on the ground fighting battles? I thought that was kind of interesting, that transition. And then a minute 16 into the clip, we see this is really cool. We see Revali blasting some Bokoblins in his champion's tunic. I wasn't fully aware of where the location was at, but at this point, I begin to recognize that the champions are falling in battle, and they're beginning to be overcome by Ganon's forces. Because in this scene, it took me forever to find out, but Revali is hit from behind by some exploding arrows, and those arrows appear to come in from the lower left-hand corner of the screen and just blow him up at that point. And the very next scene, we see a close-up of Link at about a minute 17 seconds into the trailer. It's a close-up of him battling. He's in his champion's tunic with the Master Sword, and he appears to be struggling, and there appears to be, I think it's an electric spear that's pinning down the Master Sword and coming down heavily on Link. I think it's probably just like a standard electric spear in the game, but something that popped into my head was like, is it possibly Ganon's trident? I don't think so. I couldn't really make out a trident shape in the clip. I don't think that's likely, but at this point, the expression on Link's face, he appears to be overcome in battle. And then after that, a minute 18, we see Urbosa going down. She appears to be in a Divine Beast. In the background, you can see the green electric strips that we saw in the Divine Beast in the battle with the Thunderblight Ganon. And so Urbosa is fully overcome at this point, and also Mipha appears to be distressed in the next scene. And then we go into a minute 19 seconds. Daruk appears to be overpowered. And this is something really fascinating. Revali is hit, but it appears to be with this purple energy, this purple laser. It doesn't appear to be a guardian laser. Doesn't appear to be like a standard bow and arrow. But it's like this purple energy that glances off his chest. So I'm not sure if that's anything we haven't seen before, or if it's just, again, just a color choice that's supposed to be just a random laser. But I thought it was interesting. It didn't remind me of a a guardian laser, and it didn't remind me of a white streak of an arrow, but it appeared to have a purplish tint to it. And so who knows, we may have another enemy, a new enemy that we're seeing for the first time in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. At a minute 20, a guardian laser is firing over the top of Link and Zelda from behind. It appears to be, I think it might be striking the gate at Hyrule Castle. I don't know if it's another location. I had a hard time pinning down the location because there appeared to be some pine trees to the front of it. And also in the gate, it appeared to be a paved path once you went into the gate, and lots of banners and flags with the Hylian crest on it. And yeah, so I'm not sure if that scene was at Hyrule Castle or another location, because we know Link did not fall at Hyrule Castle. And at a minute 21 seconds, the castle is fully enveloped by Calamity Ganon at this point, covered in malice, and we see the blood moon rising. And then in the closing credits, we have Zelda trying to seal Ganon away herself. She's all alone at this point, crying, giving her best. And what's interesting is she's in her white dress at this point in the final scenes of the trailer. So yeah, there you have it. So much to unpack. I really need to go into the Creating Champions book and brush up on the history of what's happened. If I've made any mistakes, yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'm more than happy to be corrected. I was just super stoked about this game, and these are just some of my thoughts. It's so cool to see Nintendo filling in the timeline with this game and giving us something before the end of the year to tide us over until we see the release of the Breath of the Wild sequel. However long that may take, I'm just glad Nintendo's patient with pushing that kind of stuff out, and I know they'll make the sequel, do an excellent job with the sequel. So super pumped about that. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. These are just my initial impressions, initial thoughts over the new trailer. The trailer I talked about in the video was not the trailer that featured E.G. Aonuma and those guys during their presentation, but this was the cut trailer. This was the regular trailer, end to end, with no Nintendo representatives or Tecmo representatives talking in between scenes. So again, yeah, thank you guys. If you guys liked it, sorry, I'm just babbling at this point. Again, super excited. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for stopping by, and yeah, looking forward to this game, and hope you guys are too. Have a wonderful week and have a great time. See ya.